I love it. I mean, back it up, go play. I think he's, as a coach alluded to, that his first 2 years here, and what do you love about him is that he comes out every day, goes to work, and practices hard, gives everything you got, and he's going to do that. Whether he's the best running back in the country or not, that'll remain to be seen. But you got to love that confidence, and he's going to give you everything he's got. So, I'm okay with it.
I won't ask you who your quarterback is, but how is this quarterback competition different than what you've seen in previous years here?
You know what? I think just because we've lost somebody that had game experience, Steven for 2 years, and now you've got all of them. None of them have been in a game, an actual the bullets flying. So that's always an interesting facet when you come into the year. You tried to make as much game-like situations in the spring. Matt and I both, Coach, decided that right in about the third or fourth practice, that in team we made everything kind of game-like, no matter what, whether it was a scrimmage or not. And we called it from the hip. And so it was all as much game-like situations as we could for those quarterbacks, because it was huge. And good for the young guys that you got a chance to come in on defense or offense. Either one of them, when they get that type of playing during practice, you can't simulate the full speed part of it, but I think it really helped our quarterback. So we'll continue to do that and see. Hopefully somebody just takes the job,
Do you see a scenario where maybe Benny runs or gets the ball less this year just because it's like me?
You know what? I think, you look at his freshman year, and we had 2,000-yard rushers, and we had probably 3 with JoJo and Boom and Benny, and they all 3 touched the ball a lot. So you'd like to take a little bit off of Benny, for sure. I think with, as Coach talked about Saeem, you looked at AJ, and I thought he had a fantastic spring, and it's been the best summer Saeem's had. So I think we got a couple of guys that, number one, they're going to push him. I think that's what I saw in the spring. It's everything's open. The one thing you can't rest on your laurels. It's time to move forward, and Benny did that in the middle of the season last year, and he got better. And if he continues to do that, we'll be in great shape. But those guys pushing him has been really good for our room.
Should you hope one of those guys takes the job? What do they have to do to take it?
Well, you just clear cut. Is that going to happen? It didn't happen in the spring, and it's they're both a little bit different. But you'd like to see somebody rise, right? Somewhere down the road, whether it be in the first 29 practices, whether it be by game 3, or game 6 or game. I mean, somebody's going to have to take this thing and go with it. So you love that competition, but that's everywhere. Left tackle, our center, our right guard, it's competition.
Coach Hughes mentioned that one of Terry's biggest assets is kind of escapability and movement. You can't really. You talk about simulating stuff, but he's not getting hit. How do you evaluate that when you factor in him playing?
He's fast. And you see that, his mobility that way. And so, again, we did try to be as game simulation as we could, and I think we'll continue to do that for sure as we get into these next 29 practices or however many we have. We're going to put both of them, all 4 of them are going to get the opportunity to get in those types of situations.
Mark mentioned the continuity in the coordinator's room, but what's it like to have an offensive line where almost all 5 guys are back? How much does that help the athletes around them?
It's huge. We always talk about big men lead the way. For our offense to go, it's about those big guys. They're smart. They're physical. They love it. They love being around. It's a great room. So for that to happen is huge. Our communication is so much further ahead. As Coach says, we're going into our 3rd year in this system. We're talking better, and it's really good. It's a good feel.
What about just the continuity with the coaching staff? As Mark just said, just have the coordinators back for 2 years now. How does that?
It's great. It's fun to come to work, and when you don't have to invent the wheel all the time, and we're finding ways right now to tweak the offense a little bit over the summer, and then as we've gotten back right now, this morning we were into red zone and just kind of having some ideas of how we can use our personnel and just building on that. And it's fun. It's just when you can go to work every day and you can have a smile on your face, you got a chance.
How was Michael Smith's coaching style different than what was here before?
Well, his experience in the SEC, I think was huge. I think, our receiver coach is Lamar. He played the game and he played in the NFL. I think that's huge. So did Mike. But I think him and the experience in our league, I think really has been valuable.
How valuable is it for when you got a lot of young guys?
Yeah, I think it's just the relationship part of it. He's been there, he's done it, and I think that really has been a good component for us.
Anything else for Coach Gran?
Okay, one question about the receivers.
Yes.
Mark just talked about, you got some unproven guys, and you got a guy like Dorian coming back, so what are you looking for?
Well, Dorian Taylor, really, I'll tell you, one of the things that we're going to talk about, we talked about being more of an explosive offense in the spring, and you always talk about turnover ratio. You always talk about those things that are cliche, being situational masters, being great at 2-minute, 4-minute, third down, and red zone, and all those those have to happen. But I think Coach said it the best in terms of he challenged them to compete, and we were better at the end of the spring. We need to compete, but we need to compete with some urgency on every single play. I think that's going to be the message for us. As we go into this thing, because you go into a game, and Coach always talks about it can be the first play, the 15th play, or the 68th play. You don't know when that play is going to matter to make a huge difference in the game. So we just need to compete with urgency on every play in practice as well as when we get into a game.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Yep.